Hey guys, today I just want to spend a few minutes to talk to you about fire safety. This is not professional advice, it's just information that I have that I thought would be appropriate to share so you can do your own research on it. But there isn't much available with regards to what people do with regards to fire safety in their own house or their garage. Now, regular petrol cars get a lot of fires as well, so typically we're getting around 170, 180,000 cars a year in the US that catch on fire. Teslas are actually down much lower than that, up to 160 Tesla fires in 2020, which is about 0.01% of Teslas catching on fire. So EVs are quite a bit lower than petrol cars year over year. Now, BMW i3s, it's hard to find information about the number of fire events, but there's some information on Wikipedia, plus going through a bunch of internet sources. The major things were on Rexes, where there was 19,000 that were recalled for fuel vent line leaks, potentially causing a fire. Oil fill plugs or dipsticks not being reinserted and the oil spraying in the engine area and then catching on fire. Several events of post-oil change fires. It could be related to insulation getting soaked by people spilling oil during oil changes. Not 100% clear. There was one mention about a melted socket from possibly the charger, improper wiring issues on the charging units. A mention of charging related issues, possibly a fire related to overcharging of the battery, maybe from electrical malfunction, electrical component malfunction, or actual batteries shorting during charging. And then just random accident related and unrelated vehicle problems, such as fireworks in a garage causing a problem or something similar. If you look at the frequency of events, that's about 10 to 15 that I could find out of 220,000 i3s in global production. So that's about 6.6 out of 100,000 vehicles, versus gas cars are running about 1,500 events per 100,000 vehicles. So the risk is not that high of having a fire event, but it also is not zero. So I think planning ahead and being prepared for those types of issues is a prudent thing to do. So what I want to talk about was how to prepare your garage or your house for charging your electric vehicle. And if I looked at some numbers here, it shows that number one cause of house fires, at least in an opinion poll that was done, is cooking being quite high, of course, but electrical problems also being quite high. Surprisingly, issues in the garage didn't come up on many of the metrics that I saw. But that being said, it's not something I think we should have completely ignore. There are a lot of garage fire events. These are just some examples, not necessarily EV related. So, and again, every year, 300 and almost 60 houses have home-based fires. It could potentially be a problem. So it's not a trivial thing. Now in my garage, I have several lithium battery chargers scattered throughout my garage. So I am concerned about not just car fires from lithium batteries, but all fires that might occur in my garage area, including hot water heaters, gas-fired water heaters, plus any other electrical device in my garage. So if I look for what is recommended, it's kind of interesting that there aren't any rules that say you need to put any type of a smoke detection in your garage, at least not in my area. And I looked at what is available, and there's both the standard ionization type smoke detectors that are available, and also a heat detecting smoke alarm, which is also available. So there's some pros and cons to both of those, and I made a quick list to compare. So smoke detectors, standard one you would have in your bedroom, for example, they're inexpensive. They're really good at detecting early smoke, smoldering type fires. They are unfortunately sensitive to dust and false alarming, which is one of the reasons they're not recommended for garages typically. However, the other devices tend to be a little more expensive. Ones that I've found mostly are hardwired. They also typically are wired into sprinklers, so you don't want to have any false alarms. Or I'm not so sure having a false alarm in a garage situation would be worse than not having any alarm at all. So there's some pros and cons to both. I personally have gone with the ionization units, and I've installed them over my uh, home garage charger with the intent of catching any type of electrical failure that might occur on the device real time. And so far, I've had it installed for 4 years and have not had any false alarms on the unit. So I'm thinking that the concern with dust and humidity may be more of a problem than uh, perceived to be more of a problem than it really is. So the other thing I wanted to mention was fire extinguishers. So I went and purchased a fire extinguisher specifically for my garage, and specifically to deal with fires that could potentially be coming from lithium batteries and or electrical problems. So if you look at the different codes for fire extinguishers, what is recommended is a uh, B for flammable liquids and C for electrical fires. It looks like a lithium ion battery, a class D fire extinguisher, which is for metal fires, is not recommended because these do not use metallic lithium in those batteries. So a class B fire extinguisher or a standard ABC type fire extinguisher is actually what I could find was recommended. I purchased a Kidd Marine uh, fire extinguisher specifically to mount in my garage, which is a BC type fire extinguisher. And so far I haven't had to use it, knock on wood, but it's there and ready to go in my garage in case I do have a problem. So this is what I would recommend at this point in time. Yeah, again, the literature says that most of the recommendations are to have a heat sensor fire detector in your garage. However, it detects fire, it does not detect smoke. And I would rather have false alarms and be detecting a early smoldering fire than waiting until I had a raging fire that raised the temperature in my garage to the point where it probably is not recoverable. And of course, having a fire extinguisher, if I have any small electrical fire, I'd be able to put that out. So those are my recommendations. My purpose and intent here is for you to be at least be aware and think about this, and look for a official professional recommendation for your own application that you're comfortable with and also meets the codes in your local area. Anyway, I hope this is useful or for you at this point, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks.